Let's talk about how to make your rooms feel larger. Even if you're in a small space, an apartment, a condo, a smaller home, I'm gonna give you some designer tips how to make any room feel more grand, larger, and just more spacious. Summer is here. That means we all want the light, bright, airy feel in a home. And I'm gonna tell you the tips that I use with my clients in my own home, how to make your space feel larger than it is. Obviously, I have 13-foot ceilings and my room is larger, but I'm gonna tell you tricks that no matter how small your room is, even if you have a 10 by 12 living room or a 9 by 10 bedroom, all of these things are a game changer in making the room feel bigger. Number one, before you even start redecorating or redesigning your space, really purge. Go through those items you no longer need, no longer want. Only keep the items that bring you joy and make you happy. So that's a basic. I have a 4-basket system where I have donate, trash, sell, and you line those up. Donate, trash, sell, and what's my other one? Oh, keep. Keep, of course. Go through your room first, artwork, you go see if you love your curtains, if they're hanging right, if they're kind of made cheap, your bedding, your clothing, how many shoes do you really need, all of the things. Once the room is decluttered, your bedroom, kitchen, all the things, then it's time to move to the next step, which is designing the space and making it feel bigger, fresher, brighter, and more airy. And you can do it very affordable. So these tips I'm giving you are simple, basic tips. We're gonna start with your walls. If you go super dark in a bedroom, your room's gonna feel smaller. I know color drenching is a thing right now where you paint the ceilings, paint the walls, paint the trim, all the same color. I wouldn't recommend it. Your room's gonna feel smaller, and at nighttime it's gonna feel like a cave unless you have great lighting. So be careful with the color drenching trend. I do not personally recommend it as a designer. Number two, once your walls are painted a lighter color, it can still be a color, but it just needs to be a lighter shade because light needs to filter in your rooms to bounce off the walls and create space. Mirrors are a great way to make any space feel larger. If you have a small entryway, a small bathroom, do a large mirror. A large mirror will give the illusion of the space being bigger. It'll also reflect a lot of light in a darker space. You can also do large artwork or stackable artwork. Make sure you use that height. Even if you have an 8-foot ceiling, make sure you really use that height to your advantage. Don't have an 8-foot ceiling and put a small piece of artwork. Go for a larger, like 50-inch piece. That will give the illusion of it being larger. Curtains, huge. If you have an 8-foot ceiling, then you want to, or 9-foot, whatever, usually standard 8-foot ceiling, you want to bring those curtain rods up. So for example, this window here, if my 8-foot went to here, say for example, to the bottom of that window, that was an 8-foot ceiling, you do not want to hang your curtain rod on the frame. You want to raise it 3 inches down from the ceiling. So my living room is basically 14 inches. You want to bring it 3 inches down from your crown molding or your ceiling before you hang the rod. That way it gives the illusion of it being larger. So for an 8-foot ceiling, you want to bring your bracket. So if this is the window here, okay, this is the corner right here, right here, that might be better. This is your corner. You want to bring it up, your rod up and over. You want to go over about 8 to 10 inches. So if your window's here, come over here, 3 inches down from the ceiling, and over 8 to 10 inches, because when you hang a drapery, you want it to hang on the side of the window. If you have it in line with your window, your drape, when it's down, is going to make your window feel a lot smaller. So you want your drapes to hang on each side of your window, not blocking it, and raise that rod. It will make a huge difference. Another thing, keep your corners empty. So I have chairs here, but they're not pushed back in the corner. You want to pull them out. If you have the room to float furniture, I highly recommend that. It gives the illusion that there's space behind and makes a room feel bigger. Also, another tip, don't do an area rug too large for the room. If you have a 10 by 12 living room or bedroom, you don't want your rug to be 10 by 12. You want to have a border around it. You want to see a border, at least an 18 to 24 inch border all the way around your area rug, whether you have a rug over carpet or over wood. If your rug is too big, it's going to make your room feel smaller. Lighting. Just because your room is small doesn't mean you need tiny little lights. Go ahead and do the larger lighting. If you have a smaller space, just make sure that it's wider instead of taller. Easy fix. Furniture. Do not overcrowd your room with furniture. A couch and a chair can be significant for a smaller room. If you're doing a couch, 2 chairs, 2 end tables, a sofa table, an accent table. If you get too many pieces of furniture in a smaller space, like an apartment or a smaller room, your room's gonna feel crowded. So, and make sure you don't do your furniture too dark. Too dark of furniture is not gonna let the light flow, it's not gonna reflect. Again, like I said, mirrors, huge, huge, large artwork. Last but not least, my most important before I run out of time here is knickknacks, home decor, home accessories. If you have a small space, doesn't mean you need to buy small decor. It doesn't mean you need to buy small decor. You can enjoy the larger pieces and just do less of them. So larger pieces, less of them will give a bigger impact, more of a focal point. I have so many more tips I can share, but that's about enough for this video. Follow along if you want to hear more tips, designer tips for your home. Thanks, guys.